All right. Stop. So well, can you see? Maybe you can, sit like toddlers in the middle or something. Okay. Welcome to the second course of happy, fun Norse mythology. Now, in this class, we're going to be talking about the 9 realms. Basically, the world. Now, this very big tree thing, right? The world tree, aka Yggdrasil. Now, if you remember how to spell it, so with 2 G's and a Drasil. Okay. Yeah. So basically, this world tree upholds the world, right? All the realms are on the world tree. Now, the very big tree, it holds different realms that are said to be directly on top of one another. So like right now we're in Midgard, but actually, since it's layered directly above, this place would be, on a mountain or underground in another place. Right? There's a total of 9 realms. There's Midgard, Asgard, Vanaheim, Jotunheim, Muspelheim, Svartalheim, Hel, or maybe Helheim, and Niflheim. I'm going to get into that each individually. Now, some disclaimer, okay? There's probably 2 Yggdrasils, right? There's 2 world trees. The first one is the big tree, the very, very large tree that holds the world up, like the literal tree that has the worlds inside it. Like, we're all really small in there. And there's a second world tree, is that it's much smaller, right? And it's basically like a place where gods would go and visit. That's the second Yggdrasil, right? And the gods turned this place, this smaller world tree, to hold like sacred meetings and councils and stuff. Yes, and stuff. And Odin made some little suicide there as well. Now, Midgard, Earth. No need to talk about it anymore. It's basically Earth. Now, the only notable thing about it is that there's an ocean, like a water ring around it. Like Saturn. There's like a ring of water, giant ocean that circles all of Midgard.
The shape is wrong. The Earth is a triangle.
Illuminati. Now, Asgard, right? This is not Asgard. It's not the golden city, all right? It's much, less. It's less golden than that. So, anyways, MCU depiction's wrong. Throw away everything you know. Now, it's in the center of the roots of Yggdrasil. So it's in the center of the world tree. Now, if you remember from last class, it's an independent realm, right? So the gods created themselves, right? Away from everything, basically. Now, it's the center of the universe. It's home to the Aesir gods, right? And has a place in it called Valhalla that is reserved for mighty warriors who died in battle. So if your dad mugged someone, maybe not your dad, maybe your brother mugged someone, right? And got found out by the police. You got in a shootout with the police and he died. He's going to the place reserved for holy warriors and really nice people, Stop!
I'm sorry.
Good. So that's Asgard, right? Asgard is actually a really just like a medieval village. Imagine it as a medieval village, but it never rains, and it's always like beautiful, big blue sky and etc. Think of that as Asgard, really. You can eat, brawl, drink, do whatever you want until doomsday comes, which is Ragnarok. Before that, party however much you want. It's got this cherry medieval village feel to it. Now, moving on, we got Vanaheim. Now, this is a home to a different branch of gods, right? They're called the Vanir. The Vanir. Let me write that down.
This is a culture. It's Norse. What, the word?
Word.
Don't ask me.
Now Asgard is home to the Aesir gods. Vanaheim is home to the Vanir gods. These two. Now I'll go into their differences later on. Now these Vanir gods, right, are different from the Asgardians, from the Aesir gods who symbolize like society and all that. These Vanir gods symbolize love and fertility and beauty and nature, peace and stuff, right? A very lively place, filled with magic. Basically, your average isekai anime without an evil overlord, right? When I think of Vanaheim, I usually think of Rivendell from Lord of the Rings. Really pretty.
Isn't Riverdale that one very garbage show?
Riverdale? I don't know, never watched it. Rivendell.
Oh, Rivendell, not Riverdale.
Yes. Then moving on, we got Jotunheim. Jotunheim, right? It's connected to the roots of Yggdrasil. It's home of the giants, right? Homeland of Loki. A really chaotic place, right? So everything goes in there. There's a frozen river between Jotunheim and Asgard that blocks transport to all realms. So you can't just, ride a rainbow bridge to that. You actually got to go to Midgard and then go to Jotunheim. It's really just difficult like that. So Jotunheim isolated from the rest of the world. Like, okay, that's an inappropriate joke. Moving on. Wait, this is Muspelheim. Okay, Muspelheim. Basically hell. It's the eternal burning fire. Remember last class, the heat from Muspelheim connected with the frost from Niflheim made some big water droplets and created Ymir the giant. Now that's Muspelheim. Really big fiery place, right? It's home to a big fire giant called Surtur, who would eventually nuke Asgard. Okay. Moving on, we got Alfheim. Now Alfheim, home, very pretty place, right? Big woodlands, big forests, very pretty. Like inhabitants are also very pretty.
Are there a lot of insects there?
Really pretty. In the God of War depiction, yes, there's a lot of insects there, but very pretty. How pretty? Look how pretty this is.
Bugs are not pretty.
Well, look how pretty this is.
But cockroaches. True.
Well, look how pretty this is. Anyway, the inhabitants are also very pretty. You see, inhabitants are also very pretty. Very nice. Inhabitants. These inhabitants are also very pretty. They also kill each other. Right? Why?
I think you forgot to say that it was very pretty.
Did I? It was very pretty. It was extremely pretty. Right? So very pretty that. Now, the dark elves murder the light elves, right? Why? Because they want to protect this light, right? This giant light that in the God of War games, sort of like a beacon. It creates the energy used for the Bifrost and holy stuff, right? It's a giant interracial conflict that started before the start of time. When maggots crawled out of Ymir's corpse, they turn into light elves, dark elves, and dwarves. Light elves and dark elves are like your favorite little siblings that like to, knife each other.
Knife each other.
Okay,
Wait,
fine.
the dark elves kill the white.
Yes, the white elves are like peace-loving. Oh, we don't want to fight. No, fight no good. But this light, ours by blood right, we need. It's very important. Dark elves. No. Basically, that's the entire conflict in Alfheim. Now,
Stop.
the light elves are very light. And dark elves looks very
Dark.
Wow, really? I never knew that.
right? It's basically like Batman, except he kills. Right? That's Alfheim. There's not a lot of stories about Alfheim, apart from that a very nice god once became its ruler and ended the conflict, but then he got called into like a Aesir. Now that god was a Vanir god, right? he went there, he ended the conflict, but then he himself was pulled into a conflict between the two god tribes. You know? So he went away and the conflict started again. Now, next up we got, why is it always hell? What the heck?
Svartalheim.
Yes, Svartalheim.
Svartalheim.
Now, also called Nidavellir. Let me write that down.
Sorry to interrupt. Does anyone know what Eric's arm is or Annabelle you? Oh, Eric's here. Sorry. Annabelle is. Where's Annabelle? I don't know. Oh, you're here.
No. I don't know where Annabelle is, but he's on there.
Okay. She's not at Max's.
Yeah. It's also called Nidavellir. It's located under Midgard, right? Deep inside the world tree, so it's inside its trunk. But it is high in the sky, right? Yes, but it's underground. Logic, 1,000, right? It's home of the dwarves, very skilled artisans. They're also magicians. They like to create magical stuff. You know, they like to create swords. You know, they created Thor's hammer. They created Odin's spear. They created basically everything. Dwarves, very nice. So when I think of Svartalheim, it's easier to picture it. It's easier to picture it as a, I've referenced a lot of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, is that also Lord of the Rings?
This is in The Hobbit.
Yeah, I know, I watched it.
Lonely Mountains, like inside.
Yeah.
I usually, like dwarf and stuff. It's all underground.
Are you a Lord of the Rings fan?
Yes.
Couldn't tell.
Couldn't tell. Next up, we have Hell. It's connected to the roots of Yggdrasil, right? And it's also the most populated place in the 9 realms because it's filled with people who didn't die fighting, right? They didn't die fighting. So if your father, right? Your father grew to like 120 years old and eventually he died of old age, he's going to hell. Right? Because he didn't die fighting cops like your brother. Now these deaths, these people who are in hell, they are the people who suffer dishonorable deaths. Right? So they didn't go down in honor, guns blazing. Right? They got down like peacefully and stuff. You know, they died of disease, old age, and all that. It's ruled by Hel, basically. Loki's daughter with a giantess called Angerboda. I'll get to that later. So this girl rules Hel, right? And then this road, it's like a river. It's basically the Norse version of the Styx. You know, the Greek river that has the lost souls and all that.
Yeah.
Right? This Helvig is the road to hell. There is a river, and then there's like a path on the land, right, where the dead will march. Next up, you must know that it is actually not a really bad place, hell, right?
They look happy.
Yes, they are happy. Because in hell, there's no eternal suffering. There's no like damnation. There's no like people prickling at you with little thorns and stuff. In hell, you just continue your daily business. You eat, you drink, you laugh. Except there's no like bright days and all that. Everything's gloomy. Other than that, everything's normal.
Good. Oh. The chicken looks good.
Is that
I'm not sure that's chicken.
That human looks good.
Chicken or
Next up.
I mean, it's not like we've learned about heaven yet.
Next up, we have Niflheim, right? It's the primordial world of ice, mist, and snow.
And Minecraft.
No. It's basically a frozen up hell, right? You go to Muspelheim, you burn. You go to Niflheim, you freeze. Easy as that. No, Ohio.
That's the first one. Ohio.
Oh yeah, that's Ohio. This is
This is Canada. This is Russia.
No, this is Florida. Sure. Now, this has Helheim in it, right? So Helheim exists in Niflheim,
That looks like a world.
right? It's a world inside a world.
Oh, 6.
Yes. What?
Yo.
Yeah, sick. Now,
Wow.
some weird circle of life things going on inside the world tree. All right. Now that we've talked about all the things.
Monsieur, how? Could you aller au toilet?
No. Yes, go.
No.
Is anyone else?
Yes, I know.
No.
Let's vote. Let's vote.
You can go.
Okay. Thank you,
Au
Mr.
revoir.
And thank you, Monsieur, how?
Monsieur.
Monsieur.
Okay. Now that we talked about the 9 realms, I would like to talk about the naming system. Right? Now, you've seen. I hate my fingers. You have seen
Everything.
that every realm, nearly every realm, ends with Heim,
Yeah.
right? And then there's only 2 things that end with Guard. Asgard and Midgard. Others end with Heim. Now, I think that Heim has to deal with mystical things, magical, unearthly, right? Like Vanaheim, it's nature, magic, beauty, right? Alfheim, magical little maggots. Heim, right? But in Guard, no, Heim, realm. Guard probably means world, something that is closer
Can I
to
have
humans.
bullets?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you.
What?
Oh, you don't know.
Asgard.
Yeah, Asgard. But gods, the Asgardians, the Aesir gods symbolize more society.
Heim is the German, Norwegian, Icelandic, and I don't know how to pronounce that, equivalent of the English word home. Wrong. Haha. 我嘲笑你.
Okay,
God.
now some weird circle of life things going on. Then you should name your house Lil'Louie. Yes.
That sounds like a toilet.
Now, some weird third circle of life things going on inside the big tree, right? There's mythical creatures that live inside the world tree, right? There's 4 stags, 1, 2, 3, 4, that goes around the branches. They don't really do anything. They're just there. Now, some say they symbolize the seasons, right? Some say the elements, but in reality, they're just there chilling.
Well,
There's
there you go.
more weirder stuff, right? There's an eagle on top of the Yggdrasil, right? There's another eagle on top of the eagle on top of Yggdrasil, right? In reality, that's a falcon, but
Who cares? It's America. American version.
there's also a blind dragon, right? That munches on Yggdrasil's roots. And best of all, we got a squirrel called Ratatoskr, who acts like a messenger between the dragon and the eagle, and he would carry insults to and fro the dragon and the eagle. Now, his pleasure is to make up insults, right? To dramatize their insults and then watch their reactions. He does that for a living. That's him. My favorite boy,
I
Ratatoskr.
think your essay could use some editing. Your essay sucks. You should quit.
That's right.
Yeah.
No,
That's
no, even worse. Hey, I think your essay lacks polish, man. You should kill yourself.
Hey.
Basically him. Basically this man.
That's my man.
Now, yeah. There are also 3 wells in Yggdrasil, right? Yggdrasil, big tree. Its roots extend all over the world. One root extends into Niflheim, right? Extends to Niflheim. One root extends to Jotunheim, and another root extends to Asgard. Now, under the well of Niflheim is the well of Vergomer.
Can you spell it? I'm gonna Google it.
Yes. Let's spell it.
What if he's just making up spells? None of us know it.
It doesn't matter because I'm taking notes. If it's all wrong, then
Ask.
just sort of write it down.
Yeah. You can post on her.
I doubt it.
Ask the other one.
Where are we going?
Can't see.
Now, it's a giant lake, right? It's a giant lake that gives birth to snakes. It's also the home to the big dragon that munches on the roots of the world tree. Under, it gives birth to, snakes.
I know.
Yes. Under the wall of Jotunheim is the well Mimisbrunn. Like, this is Mimir, right? It's a well containing magical water, fantasy water, that will grant you knowledge, everything you ever wanted. Well, to know, not physical things, but knowledge. This is well. You take a sip, you big brain, 1,000. Mimisbrunn, like Mimisbrunnr.
Oh, Bruno.
Oh, you have it.
Under the well of Asgard is the well of Udrbrunn. Now, here lies the Norse version of the Fates, the three sisters. Now, it's actually coincidence? I don't know. But there are three Norse fates called Norns. There are Norns, and they also weave stuff.
Oh.
They also weave stuff. Right? And then they weave stuff to repair damage caused to the Yggdrasil by the dragons and wars and stuff. So they're the fates, basically. And then this swan is the father of all swans.
He's a swan.
He's a swan.
Wow.
Yes. Very nice. Class over.
I'll get another presentation about Canada. Do you want to read it?
About what?
Canada.
Canada.